welcome to UGC Net exam preparation. As you all know that this is lecture series for paper 2 environmental science. So in this class we are going to study about the wastewater treatment process. This topic is important for your examination as well. Directly on or indirectly questions are asked from this topic. So let's begin with the wastewater treatment process. So, wastewater treatment process. The treatment of wastewater is very important. Why it is important? Because it protect our environment, it protect our public health, it protect our sustainable development. I mean to say, it is used for sustainable development. By managing the water, we can use that wastewater, we can reuse them, and we can also discharge them into like agriculture field, into gardening. For various purpose, we can use that treated water. We can support our ecosystem. We can protect biodiversity and also ensure that human population have access to clean water. Okay, the process of treatment of wastewater involve multiple stages. There are multiple stages, and each critical stage, each stage are very critical, and they are very useful to remove the contamination from water, and then they will turn them into safe, usable water. Okay, so there are five stages of wastewater treatment. The first stage is called preliminary treatment, then primary treatment, secondary treatment, tertiary treatment, and the last one is sludge treatment. Okay, so let's see all of these stage one by one. So here the first stage, that is called preliminary treatment. Okay, this is the first stage, that is preliminary treatment, that focus on removing large debris. In wastewater, there will be lots of large debris, and also heavy solid material will be there in the wastewater. So this preliminary treatment, they will be removing that large debris and heavy solids from incoming wastewater. Okay, this step is essential for protecting more sensible equipment in later stage from the damage or blocking. Why we need to do this preliminary treatment means these large and heavy materials, they can damage the remaining other material pipes from where their this incoming wastewater are flowing. They can make them blockage, they can damage the instrument which are being used in wastewater treatment. So there are key components of preliminary treatment includes. There are also stages in preliminary treatment. First one is screening. What is screening? This involves the use of bar screen. I'll show you image. See, this is bar screen. These kind of materials instruments are used to remove this kind of materials from the wastewater. Okay, this is screening. Yeah, see, this is how it looks like. So, bar screen mesh or mesh screen to capture large objects such as there will be sticks, leaves, plastics, and other debris that might damage the equipment or obstruct the flow of water. So, for example, these these materials, if they passes, if they flow along with wastewater into other instruments which are being used to treat it water, these materials, these solid material, they can make a blockage, they can make an obstruct in the flowing of wastewater. Okay, so they can obstruct the flow of water. This screening, they collect the debris, often referred to as a screenings, is then transferred to landfill or incineration. This after collecting these these solid materials, they'll be collected separately, then they'll be sent to other landfill or for other treatment process. Okay, and come to grit removal. As a wastewater enter a treatment facility, the water is flowing when as soon as they enter treatment process. It often carries heavy inorganic materials. Along while following this water, it carries multiple pollutants, lots of pollutants. They may be heavy inorganic materials or organic, such as sand, gravels, small stones. And these grit removal system, such as aerated grit chamber or vortex separator, that is the name of grit removal, such as grit chamber or vortex separator, effectively settle these materials. They will be settled. This solid gravel, sands, and a small stone, they will be settled down in the bottom of the chamber. Then they prevent damage and erosion in pump or other mechanism. So just like here I have taken a one diagram. The flow, incoming flow. This is incoming flow of wastewater. As soon as they enter, here will be aerated chamber. This is aerated chamber. Okay, so that sands, gravels, stone, they'll be settling down in the bottom of the tank. Later, they'll be removed through mechanical or any other mechanical process. So this is how this sand, gravel, stone, they'll be removed through grit removal chamber. Okay, so this is preliminary treatment. In the first stage, they'll remove this large debris or large uh, materials which are present in wastewater. This is image of steam. Then the second stage, that is primary treatment. The primary treatment aims to remove settleable organic and inorganic solids. They're heavy materials, heavy pollutants, but they're not that much heavy as treated in primary. After this treatment, there will be remaining solids which can be settled gradually in the bottom of the tank. So that remaining solid or materials that are polluted, they can be removed through primary treatment. Okay, uh, sorry, I'll erase this one. Okay, so there are multiple stages in this primary treatment. There, the first stage is sedimentation tank. Sedimentation. There will be tank after preliminary treatment. So after preliminary treatment, the water will be flow to this tank. So the water will be kept for few hours in this tank. That then the solid materials, they will be settled down to the bottom, and later this will be removed. So this is sedimentary return, or also we also call primary clay repair. What is in this thing? Wastewater is held for few hours. Wastewater will be kept for few hours so that the solid settleable organic and inorganic solids, they can be settled down settle down to the bottom of the tank. Then, while the other materials which are lighter, such as oils, grease, they will not settle down to the bottom of the tank. They will be floating on the surface of water. So the settled solids are known as the primary sludge. That settle these solids, they will be called as primary sludge. These slugs are collected, then sent for further treatment in the sludge treatment stage. In the last stage, they'll be sent to last stage for further treatment. Okay. Then another stage is skimming. Skimming. What this skimming do? They are surface skimmer. For what purpose they are used? They are used to remove soil. This oil and grease, they'll be floating on the surface of water. So through the skimming process, that grease and oil, they'll be removed, like oil and grease. They'll be. This step is essential for preventing these materials from interfering with subsequent treatment process for further treatment process. So please remember this point. Sediment. What question might be asked like safety sedimentation tanks. What purpose they are used? Why skimming? What purpose skimming are used? Skimming are used to remove floating materials like oil and grease. Okay. Primary treatment typically removes 50 to 70% of suspended solids and about 25 to 40% of biological oxygen demand. When you remove organic and inorganic solids or inorganic materials from wastewater, automatically BOD will be removed. because to break down that organic materials which are present in the wastewater, they will be to break down that pollutants, they will be requiring BOD. When you remove them, automatically BOD will be removed, okay, from wastewater. Although this stage significantly reduces the pollutants load, it does not remove dissolved impurities unnecessary. Still, this primary treatment remove lots of pollutants from the wastewater. However, there will be still remaining pollutants will be there. So, for to remove the remaining pollutants, we need to use further treatment. Then we'll go to next treatment process. So, this is aerial view of wastewater treatment tank. So here you can see this is schema. This will be rotating like this. With that, this will be collecting the surface floating materials. Okay, so this is schema. Okay, so now let's move to the secondary treatment. Secondary treatment is a biological process. Please remember secondary treatment process also called biological treatment process. Okay, in this process we use biological process designed to substantially degrade the biologically organic matter, okay, and suspended solids that remains after primary treatment. Okay, aerobic microorganisms in this process. Aerobic microorganism means the microorganisms which are present in aerobic condition, means in the presence of oxygen. These microorganisms, they play crucial role in this stage, okay, to break down organic pollutants. The common methods employed in the secondary treatment are activated sludge process. So what it does in this method, wastewater is mixed with controlled population of microorganisms in area. So there will be one tank. In this, wastewater will be flowed to in this thing after primary treatment. So in this water, microorganism will be added to this tank. So what that microorganism will do, this aerated tank will be provided with oxygen along with the microorganism, and oxygen will be provided so that microorganism can use the oxygen to break down the pollutants which are present in this tank. Okay, then organic matter, after breaking down, this microorganism will convert them into carbon dioxide, water, and additional biomass. The mixture of microorganism and the waste is then transferred to secondary clarifier, where the biomass settles as a secondary sludge. After the treatment, after the microorganism breakdown of that organic material, organic pollutants, they will be settled to bottom or some other place, and that settles are called, for example, this is secondary treatment tank. So here microorganisms will be there, along with it oxygen will be provided in this. So when as soon once this microorganism break down the pollutants, that pollutants will be converted to some other form like carbon dioxide, water, and additional biomass. The remaining biomass, they will be settled to bottom. So this uh, material, they will be called secondary sludge. Again, the secondary sludge will be cleared by mechanical process, and they will be sent to further treatment. That sludge will be sent to further treatment. This treatment water from this process is clearer and significant reduced. Here also lots of BOD will be reduced. Okay. Then another method is the trickling filter. Trickling filter. Here the wastewater is distributed over a bed of media. For example, I will make a diagram. There will be one bed of media. Bed of media means here will be like here will be lots of materials such as stones. Sorry, here will be one bed of media, just like a stone, sand, that kind of media will be placed here. So here the wastewater will be distributed. Okay, bed of such as rocks, plastic modules covered in a biofilm or micros. This media, these rocks, This sands, they will be covered, they will be covered in a biofilm of microorganisms. They will be covered with lots of microorganisms. Okay, as the water, when water are placed here, the water will be flowed through this media. Okay, as the water trickles down, microorganisms consume the organic pollutants. These microorganisms they'll be consuming this organic pollutants. Okay, that way the organic pollutants will be removed. The treated water exists through bottom of the filter having undergone biological purification. So here the treated water they'll be treated biologically purified water. Okay, and there is another method, rotating biological contactors. These are large and rotating discs that are partially submerged in wastewater. These contactors, these instrument, they will be partially submerged in wastewater. The discs support a biofilm of aerobic, and they will be partially submerged in the wastewater. Okay, the rigs, the digs support a biofilm of aerobic microorganisms, which are alternatively exposed to air and wastewater. As these rotate, this process facilitates the breakdown of organic matter. This process they will support, they will help to break down the organic matter which are present in wastewater. Okay. The secondary treatment process are very highly effective in removing 85% of BOD and suspended solids which are present in wastewater. They are effective and they will be removing 85% of BOD and suspended solid which are present in wastewater. So this is secondary treatment. Please remember these points. Okay, there might be a question from this. Then comes to fourth stage, that is tertiary treatment. This stage also called as advanced treatment. Also, we can call it chemical treatment process. This goes beyond the removal capabilities of primary and secondary stage to eliminate inorganic compounds and nutrients and pollutants. Through primary and secondary treatment process, we have removed almost all organic pollutants. However, there are still inorganic pollutants present in the wastewater. So that inorganic pollutants will be removed through the process of tertiary treatment. Okay. So the first is filtration. Filters often composed of sands and active wet carbons. The filters, often composed, they are composed of sand and activated carbon, are used to remove residual solids and certain pathogens from effluents. Might be pathogens, bacteria, some other pathogens present in wastewater that will be removed through filtration. Okay, and filtration enhance the clarity and quality of wastewater. Through this filtration process, we can get the quality of treated water. Okay, then removal. This is crucial for addressing eutrophication. When that treated water or wastewater, treated water and the if not treated, that will be wastewater. If they are discharged into the water body, that cause eutrophication. What is eutrophication? It's a mm, lots of algal bloom due to the presence of excessive nutrient. I'll tell you in details in the next class about eutrophication and other important terminology also. So this is crucial for addressing eutrophication, a process where excess nutrient lead to harmful algal blooms in receiving water bodies. Okay, biological or chemical methods are employed for nutrient removal. In this tertiary treatment method, biological and chemical methods are used to remove the nutrient from wastewater. And this treatment targets the conversion of nitrates. In wastewater, nitrates will be present. They will be converted to nitrogen gas and removal of phosphorus through microbial uptake. Microorganism will be placed or mixed in the wastewater, and that microorganism they will be consuming phosphorus nutrient. That way phosphorus nutrient will be removed from wastewater. The chemical methods use coagulant like alum or ferric chloride to precipitate phosphorus. Otherwise, we can use if we are not able to use, or we do not want to use this microbial activity, we do not want to use microbial process, we can use chemical method also, such as coagulant. What coagulant method does means alum are added in the wastewater. Alum or ferric chloride will be added to wastewater, and this alum and ferric chloride, they'll be help to settle down the nutrients to the bottom, okay, to precipitate phosphorus. That way phosphorus will be removed through the process of nutrient removal. Then disinfection. Before discharge or reuse of wastewater, we need to we need to treat them again to before we use them. Before discharge or reuse, the wastewater is disinfected and to kill any remaining pathogen microorganisms. There might be some pathogens still remain in the treated water, so we need to treat them by using chemical process or chemical or through disinfection. So chlorination is the widely used for this process. Although other methods such as ultraviolet radiation and ozonation are also becoming popular nowadays, many industry or many treatment facilities they are also using this UV radiation and ozonation process also, due to their lack of chemical byproducts. Okay, so this is tertiary treatment. Then comes to sludge. This is final process. The fifth stage, sludge treatment and disposal. Throughout the wastewater process, the primary and secondary sludge is generated. As I have mentioned, they are in the primary and secondary process. Primary and secondary sludge are generated. The treatment is essential for reducing volume and facilitating safe disposal or reuse. If we do not treat these sludge, they might be very harmful to our environment, and finally they might affect the environment and the human health and animals. So here the first stage is thickening. Before further process, sludge is thickened to increase its solid concentration. This is often accomplished using gravity thickening tanks and dissolved air floating techniques. Okay, thickening is done before processing further sludge treatment. Then digestion. Anaerobic or aerobic. Anaerobic means in the absence of oxygen. Aerobic means in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic or aerobic digestion process are used to stabilize the organic content of sludge, reducing its volume and odor. Through this digestion process, we can reduce its volume and odor. Odor means smells. Anaerobic digestion, what it does, typically it conducts in sealed reactor. Obviously, anaerobic digestion will be sealed because it is without oxygen. Sealed reactors produce biogas, a mixture of methane and carbon dioxide. Through anaerobic process, we can produce biogas. Biogas are useful for various purposes, for cooking, for various purposes that can be harnessed as energy. And, and whereas aerobic digestion involves bacterial decomposition in the process of oxygen. In aerobic digestion, bacterial decomposition will take place in the presence of oxygen, converting sludge into stabilized and less odors, less smell biomass, and then it can be used for various nutrient purpose. For agriculture, be it for gardening, we can use that sludge. And sorry, I have mentioned wrong. It should be three. And dewatering process such as centrifugation, bell presses or filter presses. How to reduce the water content of sludge. Dewatering means removing water content from sludge, producing solid cake-like solid materials that is easier to handle and more economically disposed of or used beneficially for various purposes. Like in the agriculture field, we can use this sludge as a nutrient. Then final disposal or reuse. The water sludge can be incinerated if it is very highly toxic or highly infectious, or disposed on a landfill, or used as a soil container or fertilizer. We can use the sludge as a soil fertilizer. Okay, the choice of disposal or reuse method is influenced by factors such as regulatory standards, availability, technology, and economic constraints. We can use the sludge by, uh, by various factors. If the sludge, there will be regulatory for using the sludge. If and based on technology, economic consideration, we can use the sludge. Okay, so this is all about the treatment, wastewater treatment process. I hope you are clear about this process. So this is all about the water treatment process, and we'll this is all about this class, and in the next class we'll talk about some other topic which will be important for your examination. So this is all, and also please do not forget to subscribe to these channels. This helps me to motivate and prepare uh, other lectures for you. So please subscribe to my channel, and thank you. Please take care and see you to the next class.